The topic of today's video is $3,744 extra in SSI supplemental security income in 2024. Let's get started and go over all the information right away. Just to be clear, before we get started in this video, I am just discussing SSI or supplemental security income and the approximately 8 million beneficiaries who actually receive benefits from this program each month. I am aware that many of you in the community receive Social Security benefits, such as but not restricted to retirement disability benefits from Social Security. If you are one of these beneficiaries, SSDI survivor spouse, and the list goes on and on, I have a ton of films on the channel just for you, and there will be plenty more in the future. However, in this video, I'm only concentrating on SSI simply because this only applies to SSI participants, because the program's guidelines and the financial amounts focused on it are highly particular. Having stated that, I want to dive right into the specifics and reiterate that in order to avoid any confusion, please act swiftly. If you are a recipient of SSI, you should subscribe here if you haven't already. If not, you may be eligible for additional benefits administered by Social Security. Please click the large subscribe button below the video. I'm always available to you, fighting for your rights and doing everything in my power to support you during these difficult times. As you can see, money is extremely tight for the majority of people. Most people, and we are aware that there are numerous suggestions currently being considered to alter Social Security, alter SSI, reform the programs, and do a host of other things. I'm keeping a careful eye on everything and bringing it all to your notice every day in these brief films. Once more, if you haven't already, please subscribe below and feel free to share the video with your friends on my social media accounts. I sincerely appreciate it. Now, let me to explain the specifics of this $3,744 to you. What is happening with this? Some recent announcements regarding adjustments for 2024 and what they imply for you and your monthly benefit at this time. First of all, you may have heard this somewhere or have been watching the movies for some time, but there are a lot of pieces. There is currently a lot of legislation in place to modify Supplemental Security Income, SSI. However, as SSI has been in place for more than 50 years and hasn't been changed in a very long time, there are still provisions in place. Do you believe that the parts of SSI that date back more than 50 years, the 1970s, need to be updated? Absolutely they do, and if you are an SSI beneficiary, you already know how important your benefits are. It's practically hard to live on $943 a month these days, especially with the fast rise in inflation over the last several years. That's where some of this is coming from. But let me talk about other things first. I want to discuss a few different criteria here. Firstly, I want to speak about the federal poverty line as of right now, for 2024. This is a measure that fluctuates year and is affected by a lot of factors. The federal poverty level for a single-person household climbed by 3.29% in 2024 compared to 2023, or an extra $480 over the course of the year, to $15,600. Clearly, the federal poverty line. Nevertheless, let's do some arithmetic on this. I've already ran the numbers, so don't worry. You don't need to know the poverty line for a household of 2, 3, 4, and 5 in 2024. You know, it changes frequently, but that is the figure for a home of one person. Should pull out your calculator. I got it for you, all right? So, $15,600 for the full year divided out into monthly payments is $1,000, or $255 a month, which is the federal poverty line on a monthly basis. But now, let's take a brief look at your SSI benefit. The maximum benefit for a person in 2024 is $943, which is significantly less than the federal poverty line. In fact, it is $312 less than the federal poverty line. The difference being $1,255 and $943 is $312, which is the distinction. Now that's well below the federal poverty line. For instance, if you are now receiving the maximum amount of $943 from SSI, what do you think $312 a month could accomplish for you? Given your way of life as well as your basic standard of living, What benefits could it offer you? That would definitely benefit you and your life. I think we can all agree on that. However, here's the thing. Consider it this way. If the benefits were increased to the federal poverty line, which, incidentally, is currently the subject of legislation, this wouldn't just be some off-the-cuff decision. If they were, it would be real. To do it, which they could do with ease because legislation has been passed to do just that, increasing benefits to the federal poverty line as that was the original intent of SSI, an anti-poverty program, but that's a topic for a whole other conversation. The issue is that if they were to boost these benefits to the federal poverty line, it would result in a $312 monthly rise, bringing the benefits from $943 to $1,255. We can discuss that in another video. The federal poverty level, in accordance with the program's original intent when it was launched more than 50 years ago, but take note of this, if they were to carry out this for a period of 12 months, or only 2024, if they were to carry out this for 2024 alone. Since it's clear that they didn't begin at the beginning of the year, we're just a few months into it. If they had considered this over the course of a full year, it would add up to an additional $3,744, as well as for an SSI beneficiary, an additional $312 per month or $3,744 annually would be a game changer. It's crazy. It's a lot more money, right? What would that mean for your lifestyle again? The question is, will it be similar to you? Even though it would not have a drastic impact on your life like night and day, it could nevertheless have an influential effect. With an extra $312 per month, almost everyone could live a very comfortable life, which would be a huge gain, which, incidentally, would result in a 33% rise in benefits. If you calculate it as a percentage, that's a huge boost. Consider this. You work a job, but it may be part-time or a 9-to-5 employment. When the time for your year-end review arrives, you go in to see the manager. You settle down and have a wonderful talk with the manager about your year-end evaluation. But wait, what if the manager suddenly announced that you would be receiving a 33% raise? That is the equivalent of what it comes down to this year, really. Have you ever had that conversation? I highly doubt they offer you a 33% rise. Perhaps they say, oh, we're going to raise your income by 2%. We're going to give out a 2.5% rise this year, which is really wonderful of us. You might be thinking, I should just walk out right now. But that's what it comes down to. So this would be a 33% benefit increase for SSI recipients. That's huge, again, and would literally change people's lives. So that's what it comes down to. Just to quickly clarify, if you'd like to research this further, the SSI Restoration Act has that particular provision, which is actually the most important one in the SSI Restoration Act, raises benefits to the federal poverty level. How wonderful is that? It's one of the several provisions in that piece of legislation. And I just wanted to quickly bring that to your knowledge. Nevertheless, I hope this one helps you as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe below. Share the video with your friends on social media at home. Return to check out any of the other. There are thousands of videos on the channel. Until we meet again, have a great day, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.